Yo! Video games.
But we're gonna be real. Fighting games are the hardest games to get into.
I don't know if it's true, man.
Dude, you know what? You look at the tournaments when fighting game players, or when let's say players from shooting Call of Duty,
Sure,
come to play Street Fighter games and others, and they're frustrated, and they're like, oh my god, and all this stuff. Then you see FGC people go into tournaments of COD, and they're doing crazy stuff. You look at Destroyer, and then you look at Ketchup and Mustard. They were playing all these shooting games, and even.
I think that is entirely a mentality thing. In what fucking world do you come from something that you're? Are you because Michael
fair.
Jordan was godlike at basketball? Did he expect to be amazing at baseball?
No, but that's fair. But the thing is, when the AT&T people were like, hey, we're gonna teach you some fighting game stuff,
and they barely can grasp it, right?
Here's how you do a dragon punch, and they're like, oh, what? And these motherfuckers slide, cancel, slide, hop, and do all this shit, and they're like, hey, forward, down, forward, and they're like, what? And it was, and I'm like, I'm not trying to I saw them, and it was. Pretty wild.
I think fighting games can be absolutely overwhelming if you don't have an eagerness to learn.
Yeah, no, that's also true.
I think it's a 100% a fucking mentality thing. If you're being put into a situation and you have to be suddenly fucking good at tennis, and you're overweight and you haven't moved and you're only good at doing this one thing, and I played a lot of World of Warcraft, now I have to be good at tennis. It's a completely different fucking skill set. Your brain has to your body and your brain have to operate differently. So, but however, if you're like, hey man, I'm only good at WoW. Yeah. I want to get into tennis. I need to start getting good at this. I need to start exercising. I need to start doing this. Sure. I need to start doing all this other shit.
I will say that I will put money down that an FGC person, an FGC pro, can adapt faster to other games than a COD player can adjust at fighting games or something like that. I'll put hard money down.
It's not true. Justin is awful at FPSs. He's awful at that.
Yeah, but there's other people.
He's admittedly awful.
Sure, but that's just about the majority.
Some people are just really
Knives, Destroyer, Ketchup, Mustard. A lot of people, and I see them play a lot of different games.
I don't think that is a specific fighting game thing. I think some people that do things are kind of multilingual.
Sure.
I think some people are just really good at absorbing concepts relatively quick at shit.
No, for sure. But at other games, and I see more people in the FGC adapting to other games than I see, COD people. Because when that guy is they had that tournament, that AT&T tournament, and the guy was like, oh my god, why are fighting games so hard? I just want to mash my face on the controller and do cool shit.
Because they have an expectation that that's the way fighting games are played because they only played the one thing.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But this is a mentality issue.
Yeah.
This is a mentality thing, bro. They think fighting game players aren't anything special.
Yeah.
That most people's impression of fighting games is you just hit the button faster. You know this is true.
Yeah, and but because I just see COD players and
I was a minor competitive COD player for a long time.
It's very apples to oranges.
I feel you, but I've seen more tournaments or more things where they get people who not FGC people and they try to understand the grasp of hey, this is a fireball, this is that. What they were trying to teach a guy for an hour to do a dragon punch.
Sure.
And I'm like, damn.
I don't. Then the teaching is incorrect.
But they would have FGC people.
There's no reason for them to be learning motion inputs then.
Yeah.
Why are you teaching somebody a dragon punch if what?
Yeah.
What?
Thank you.
Damn.
Thank you, Osvaldo. Appreciate it. The teaching method is incorrect. If somebody can't get their hand around motion inputs, then why the hell are they doing them? You don't need to anymore, my dude.
Yeah.
That is an unwillingness to learn. That means if they were my player did not want to use the simple inputs, then it's an unwillingness to learn. They just don't want. They don't want to be there.
Yeah, they don't want to be. But
they're doing it just for content. They don't want to be there.
No, but sure. But they were there was a tournament. They were trying to win.
Sure.
And they'd have FGC people come in and dude, I want to help you win this. I'm excited you're trying to come into fighting games. And they would try to teach them. And I was watching that, and I was just like, wow. I'm like, how? And it's And I'm not trying to trash on any COD people. I'm like, this is the stuff I was learning when I was 10 years old or 12
You are
years
watching
old.
entertainment, though.
What?
Understand, you are watching entertainment.
Yeah, I know, for sure.
Like, you are watching somebody that is, like, popping off and making a big-ass reaction of something and making fun of a game in its community because it's funny.
Yeah, but, like, it wasn't even people, like, making fun of it. It was, like, I would watch them and they're like, hey, man, this is how you do this move. And they're like, oh, man, I can't do it. Or teaching them a string.
Sure.
And they were going, it was taking, like, a long time to like you do this string and then you do the slide and then that, and it took them like a long time, and I'm like, wow. And I will bet
because when you started, you didn't have to do that either.
No,
you didn't know any of that shit either.
No, but when I started, like, my goal,
because there was a natural growth for you because you liked it.
Yeah.
So you naturally grew with it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Which is a different situation than having to force people to learn something that might take you years to understand.
I think,
but even a year, even like
months to understand.
Like, what, didn't say someone said Ludwig or something like that, but like, you know, it's just
like these people are being forced to learn something. It's like, okay, you're playing. Here's the piano, and then suddenly, several months later, just play ragtime.
Yeah, no. No,
what
but like,
fucking
and
Jesus.
They weren't even asking people to play, like, do a 50-hit combo. It's like, push, you know, triangle, square, X, do this move, and then push triangle, X. And it was like, you know, like the easiest bread and butter combo you can imagine.
Yeah, I think I'm missing context here because I haven't seen exactly what was being taught.
Yeah, and it wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna teach you, you know, this crazy Magneto combo.
I think fighting games are harder to get into than, say, first-person shooter games or even MOBAs.
Sure.
And the reason for that is because say you like, I'm going to learn COD, I'm going to learn Fortnite, I'm going to learn whatever, right? Or even Dota or League.
Sure.
You start the round, and a round goes for, let's say, 10 minutes, right? 15 minutes, whatever. You might suck.
Okay,
you might not contribute anything.
Yeah.
But you could kind of like run around and pretend like you're doing something or whatever.
Sure.
Fighting game, you go online, you connect to a player, and you don't know what you're doing, and you get pub stomped, and you're just basically, you just got walloped really fast.
Yeah.
For 60 seconds, 120 seconds, 2 rounds, you're done.
Yes.
You're dead. So it's kind of like I think fighting games are harder to grasp because you are instantly shown how
you are held accountable.
Knowledgeable.
You are immediately held accountable.
No.
Whereas like Fortnite's like, okay, I'm walking around, I have a gun. Oh, there's a person. Okay, let me try to shoot them. You know, you kind of like, okay, I kind of get what's going on. A fighting game is just like someone gets in there. I tapped your toe. Guess what? You don't get to play.
Yeah.
Like now, watch me combo you for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I will say this: it was that one Mortal Kombat tournament where they had the people come in, and the guy that won was just using Shiva and doing Shiva stomp and made the girl cry.
Sure.
And the girl who's trying to learn some moves was getting taught a couple of things.
Yeah.
And she just got stomped by Shiva stomp because the guy, I don't need to learn. Here, let me just do this. And that was almost like the example. And I'm
to be completely honest. That advice that whatever coach gave that person to do the stomp over and over again was genius. That is actually good coaching. If you're fighting a whole bunch of people that don't know what the fuck is going on in MK11, and do Goro stomp, I want you to press down up like your life depends on it. That's the advice I would give somebody. I would not be like, all right, so you're going to up block this and then try. Fuck that, dude. This dude is in a situation where we have limited. You want you to press down up like your life depends on it. Like, that is the advice I would give them in those. If this person plans to play that beyond that, hell no. Like, you need to understand more of this stuff. That's the context of coaching, right? That is the context. I'm not here to make you a lifelong player unless you give a shit. Do you actually give a shit? Then we should, start to investigate some stuff.
That too, for sure. But I would see how long it would take them to learn a very simple thing, and I'm like, it's kind of wild. But I will stand behind this.
This is exactly how FDX got me to purple ranks in fucking Tekken. Because I told him, hey, dude, I know we can go over all the fundamentals and all the training and stuff. Teach me the arcade style. And he's like, what do you mean by that? And I was like, teach me, if I was to play through this game and I'd had no time to train this shit and I just wanted to utilize some really good stuff really fast, what would I do? Let's expand upon that. And it got me to purple ranks. And does it made it, when I'm at a point where it's like I've actually reached a pinnacle where I understand that doesn't work anymore, right? This was like a year ago. It doesn't work anymore. Now I actually have to get to a point where it's the meat and bones, defense, sidestep timing, ducking, like all this kind of stuff, punishing, like all this shit that's much more important. And now I understand. Yeah. Now it feels like, okay, now if I start getting better at this, now I have like the growth process. However, in that situation, it got me the exact goal that I wanted because it was limited use, limited time, all that kind of shit. So anyway, I think it's like a coaching thing.
Yeah.
And it's also like, so who are you fighting against? Are you fighting against other people that know what they're doing?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to win.
No, yeah, no, for sure.
Why would you expect to win? You know, like that kind of shit. So, anyway, I genuinely believe Smash Brothers Ultimate is a complicated as fuck game.
Yes.
And the amount of people that are that good at that shit is fucking crazy.
Well,
because that shit, when I see people using a GameCube controller of all things, just they're trying to speedrun arthritis, dude.
Yeah. Carpal tunnel syndrome.
I'm just like, fucking Jesus.
And
I look at that shit and I go, I have no idea how to play the game like that. Do I expect to play the game like that? I don't. But the fact that people were able to get that good at that game is because the game was fucking amazing and they naturally went that way.
Yeah. And also it was a game that it's kind of like, it's almost like Dragon Ball FighterZ probably introduced.
Dragon Ball FighterZ I think is another good example.
Yeah, when an IP is so big and beloved, people will stay and people like, that's what happened with Smash. So, like, it was Nintendo fans and this big giant thing, and it's just like, it's the Vegas analogy. Yeah. Going back, we're circling all the way back. It's to Vegas. When you go Vegas and you have all these deals and everything is so cheap, you're getting thousands and hundreds of thousands of people in Vegas.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of those people are going to gamble. But then when it comes to like, another game and like, you're pricing people out of Vegas, well, these people aren't coming. So like when Smash Brothers is like old Vegas, everybody's coming in and eventually people are staying. People are like continuing to do it. But now this new Vegas, it's way too expensive. Like, and it's kind of like the FGC, and like people are like, yeah. But like Dragon Ball FighterZ is such a big IP that it's gonna get so many people into the game, and they're gonna like, I want to be good at this game because I love this game. I love this IP.
Yeah.
Nintendo, oh my God, I love Mario and I love Sonic and I love,
Smash has something that other fighting games don't have, though, and it's something fighting game competitors hate. It's randomness.
Oh, no, dude.
And
trust me. People say they hate randomness, they actually love it.
Yes.
People say they hate it, they fucking love it.
People do fucking love it because, like, why is BR still around? Why is Fortnite still around? There's that element of randomness. Like, even before it sadly got shut down, like, I would watch Steve play Rumbleverse and he would vulture it out like crazy. Why? Because he waits for, like, an opportune moment where something crazy spawns or pops or some moment is created, and he takes advantage of it. And
absolutely,
Smash does that, and other fighting games, a lot of fighting games competitively, there's no randomness.
Yeah.
Like, if you were playing Smash Brothers and you don't know how to play it, and you play someone who does know how to play it, well, you have items on.
Sure.
You have stage hazards on. There's a chance something could happen to them. A Pokeball can spawn right in front of you, a sister.
And that is like obvious. That's like surface level obvious randomness. You literally see the random item. It could be a random thing. I literally watch the random event. It could be random. Dude, there are so many fighting games that are made better by randomness. And Third Strike is literally one of them. Like the randomness of parrying, of like how good the parry is.
Yeah.
If they did it, did they not do it? Like just that one aspect of it makes that game feel so, and I use this term for fighting games that have this randomness, scrambly. Yeah. Where not every situation is defined. Yeah. Not every moment, every jump in, everything you do, they're almost different person to person, game to game. You will see different things happening all the time because there's this scrambly element that's fairly random. That going to happen? It pisses. Pro players will say it sucks because it's uncontrollable shit. Yeah. Right? I can't account for all of those situations. It's a thing that makes Street Fighter 6 really enjoyable to watch because as much as that doesn't have like the full randomness, it's 3 options, right? Yeah. The 3 options that happen on Wake Up, what's going to happen. But because that is effectively a dice roll every single time, it is rock, paper, scissors every fucking time, it feels like you're seeing different shit happen. Yeah. Like all the time,
Mm-hmm. And I think that's the one thing that, like, if anything, fighting games should... I don't want them to embrace it. I'm not saying fighting games should have items or whatever. But I'm saying, like, that is one element that, like, it makes fighting games intimidating to learn. Because people look at it, and then it's like... people look at fighting games like walking into a dojo.
Thank you.
So, okay, I like walking into a dojo, and then, like, this black belt, 3-time black belts there, like, all right, time to fight me, but this is my first day, time to get your ass whooped. Whereas in Fortnite, it's kind of like, oh, I'm dropping you into the middle of a battlefield. You have a gun, have at it.
Yeah.
You know, like anything could freaking happen.
Yes, I think it's one of the reasons why Street Fighter 6 is so criticized by some player base because it is so fucking guess heavy. It's guess heavy as shit, dude. And those guesses are super obvious. Like, it's one or one. Which one do you pick? One beats the other two, you know, like that kind of shit. Or, sorry, one loses to the other two, but, you know, beats this one. It's literally rock, paper, scissors type shit. And they start adding, like, more options, like, later in. They start like, Street Fighter 5 did that, too, with the backdash thing. They added, like, more options to give you a little bit more elements of depth to the randomness. But still, like, you need that. Because you just get the same exact controlled situation over and over, the same optimal thing over and over again. Like, it's stifling for competitive play. Competitive players love it, but it does not help from a viewership standpoint because the game just looks the same. You just see the exact same shit all over.
Well, I mean, that, and from a content creator standpoint, like, hell, that thing people don't want to see is they don't want to see repetitive stiff.
Yes.
You know, they don't want to see, like, dude, like, there was, I think it was Leffen, to bring him up again. Like, there was that one Evo where he swept Guilty Gear finals with Happy Chaos. It was boring. It was fast, thank God. But it was just, just doing the same setups with the guns and the bullets. And I win. You know, and it's like, yeah, that was not fun to watch. There's Smash tournaments that are not fun to watch. Most Smash tournaments are not fun to watch because the no items.
Yeah, chat. My argument for players, for new players, or people that aren't good at fighting games that eventually learn fighting games, my dude, this has happened to you with anything. If you like something enough, you'll just learn it.
Yeah.
Like, you just do. It seems impossible. Like, you've never done it before. It seems so fucking hard. You look at people doing it. It seems like I'll never be able to do this,
man.
Until there's something that happens and it appeals to you, and you just start like doing it. You just start going. Yeah. Some people will learn faster. 100%. You wish you could learn as fast as I wish I could be as good as games as fast as Diaphone and Sonic Fox.
Dude, I wish I could be as fast as you, bro.
I used to be like one of the peak definitions in the FGC of like me and L.I. Joe figured out games so fucking quick in a very early situation. Now these dudes are literally like legend gods.
Well, yeah, I mean,
over this shit.
It goes back to the time where like I'm like when we do combo challenges, you're doing that shit and like in 15 minutes, and I'm doing it in 3 hours.
Yes.
But regardless, it just kind of reminds me when we went and it was Injustice 2.
Yeah. And Sonic figured out the game.
Sonic was there.
The meta of the game in like 15 minutes.
In 15 minutes, man.
That meta continued to the end of the game.
Yes.
Dude, I walked out of that room at like the first day. I think it was the first day. Sonic was in there. I came back like 15-20 minutes later, and Sonic had like a crowd of devs around him or whatever. And whatever he was doing, whatever Sonic,
the devs learned about the meta of their game.
Whatever Sonic did, whatever they did, when I walked back in like 20 minutes later, they basically downloaded the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they had figured out Injustice 2 within less than an hour.
Yes.
Yeah. While we're still trying to learn a combo.
All the devs were like hovering, or all the gameplay dudes were hovering around him because he figured out the meta of the game before the devs did, which will happen.
Yeah.
Which will definitely happen. I don't even know if the Tokon devs assumed that people were going to find this low overhead mix that has no protection. It's like in most games, if you call an assist and do this overhead thing, in Tokon people discovered this, right?
Yeah.
You get it by a low and overhead at the same time, you're fucked.
Yeah.
It's almost unblockable. In other games, there's some protection for it, where like the assist attack will not be at guaranteed low.
Yeah.
It turns into a mid or some shit. 2XKO just removed this from their game. So from what I understand, chat, right? I think 2XKO doesn't have it anymore. Anyway,
is this like new age version of fuzzies?
No, it's an MVCI all over the place.
Yeah.
Like it's like the point of MVCI is to get people into that situation where it's super hard to blockable. You know, it's in Marvel 3 as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, these hard to blockables are like a big deal, and they're going to be literally the way most people are going to get opened up in Tokon, because actually they're not that hard to do once you understand that's the way to do them. But I don't know if the devs were ready for that shit.
It was gross because
I don't know.
I saw something Sonic Fox did. They were doing a combo and they did a move with whatchamacallit, what's his face? God dang it, Star-Lord.
Yeah.
And then they tagged, but the move it lingers. So it was like having an extra character hit buttons, then they tagged and went to the other side. So it was almost like Tekken Tag.
That's Power Rangers mix.
Yeah, exactly. It was wild. They
Power
were
Rangers
like,
mix.
so they did this move, and then they right before I did the move, then I switch. So this move is lingering, and then I'm going to the other side at the same time, or like with Doom, and I'm like, but it's just, they're a genius. They just understand fighting games, and it's just, it takes them, 10, 15 minutes to like this, oh, this move does this and this. What if, and it's insane to me. I'm not even thinking that deep.
So somebody said, if you like it enough, but what if you get into a game and you get blown up and then it discourages you, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why you would go into a game and like it a lot. This is once again a mentality thing. Okay. This is the thing that boils down to people, which I have to educate people on. My dude, I know it will be difficult to get in and try again. But if you go into something that you've never done before and you expect to keep winning, then I don't know, man. I don't know what you're expecting.
No, that's how it wasn't for us.
I think obviously you could be a confident person in yourself to like just win everything, but at the same point, there should be a process where, hey, I really want to get into this thing. No, you should know that you're not going to be good at it.
I'm going to tell you what it is. It is streamer and content mentality now.
Yeah, because everything has to be good at everything.
You have to be good at everything. And back in the day, there was no YouTube. There was no whatever.
There was no resources.
No resources. You just played the game because I wanted to be good.
Because I liked it.
But nowadays, you have to play a game and you have to be good.
You're exposed to a huge amount of people that literally this is their job.
Yes.
Their job is to just play the video game and be good at it. Like, period. That is it. So now everything that you're exposed to is like, oh, Sonic Fox is the baseline impression of skill in a fighting game.
You can't
Thank
do
God
that.
somebody like Sonic Fox exists to have impressions of this game.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, it is amazing. Understand, nobody else is like that.
No.
Like, Justin Wong is not this sort of like thing that is attainable by every person. I'm like, my dude, Justin is a fucking alien from a different planet that doesn't forget combos even if he did them 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy, dude. And since you're exposed to these people more, the expectation is that everybody else, including yourself, should be that good.
It have to be, and it's in fighting games and everything like that. It's almost also, I would say, it's like the skate video mentality, right? Where you see these skate videos and you see people doing cool tricks and all this stuff and like all that, and that's their
like,
highlights.
And you're like, oh, this guy's not even good. That's the baseline.
Yeah, No, or even that, like they're doing all these cool tricks and rails and all that stuff. What you don't see in those skate videos, the 50,000 times that they fell down before they did the cool 360 flip into a board slide and stuff like that. That's what you don't see. You just see the skate videos. This is like the 90s when you saw skaters. You're just like, damn man, how can I be that? You didn't see that same skater fall 100 times. They had to learn how to fall before they can even learn how to skate. So that's what you have to do in fighting games. You have to learn how to lose before you can even win.
This is why I stopped playing fighting games off stream. Because I think it's intimidating for people. I legit do. I want to see people. I want people to see me be bad before I get good. I literally do.
Yeah.
And legit, it's been a huge factor of my growth as a content creator. Instead of just being good at the thing and only making content of just being good.
Yeah.
I think it's actually like intimidating to a certain degree. It's novel for a little while.
Yeah.
But it's hard to sympathize with people when they just don't fuck up.
And I'm gonna go. The COD people are gonna catch strays again because the COD people, that's all they put. That's all they put online. Hey, 20 bomb, 50 bomb, do this, that. And meanwhile, they're using, net Dumas to get some lobbies and stuff like that.
Net Duma to guarantee they're getting a West Coast 16 MS lobby.
Yeah, a lobby with just, people, a guy that just worked a 40-hour day and just wants to play, and they're just like, let me get in this lobby. And it goes back like, well, what happens when you play a fighting game? Like when I play someone new and they're just getting in the game, I just see they're new, I don't have fun playing them. I don't have fun, pub stomping.
40-hour day? That's rough getting.
Or 40-hour week, or whatever,
A 40-hour day is a very intense day.
A 40-hour week.
You must have been doing two jobs.
I don't have fun. I don't have fun if I see a guy and his MK and he's got 1 win and 30 losses. I don't have fun playing that guy. I don't mean that like disrespectfully. It's just what fun is it to me to beat a guy, but COD players get off on that shit. They'll make content all day on beating people that don't know how to fucking play the game. But if I'm fighting a guy and he doesn't know what to do, what does that do for me?
This literally happened to me in the Tokon beta, where the majority of matches I was getting were people that were like super fresh to the game, only face mashing, or you know, knew some fighting games but didn't know this one at all. And I had like picked up on many things, and I was like, after like 7 hours of it, I'm like, I'm getting really bored of just punishing auto combos, dude. I'm getting really bored of this. Like, I in fighting games, I do not get enjoyment out of smashing new players. I get nothing out of it, dude.
That's why they hate
the new generation.
It was one of like the most stifling things about betas for me in general is that I just do not. I wanted to run into like, I was looking for yellow ranks. I was looking for. I'm like, give me somebody that's like in purple or fucking orange, because I need to do something else. Like, I need to do something else.
Max hates smurfing. You should hate smurfing. No one should like smurfing.
No.
Smurfing is like, okay, you don't like, you want to scare people. Of course they do, but like, you want to scare people away from the thing you like. Okay, great idea.
And you know what? And you know, Steve's a good example. The Steve he'll find someone and they're bad. He doesn't want to smash them because he's like, I want them to continue playing this game. I've seen it many times. I've seen Steve play, and like somebody doesn't know how to play, and then he kind of just, you know, holds back a little bit. And I do it too. I'm like, what good is it going to do me beating this guy to a pulp?
We're never toxic, ever. In any game.
No, Simmons.
No.
You said the bad word.
No, we're never toxic.
But he said the bad word. I will vouch for Steve. I've seen him play some people that don't know how to play the game, and he's just like, you know, let him have some fun. Because it's just like, you play this game and you get in there, and you're like, well,
have I ever been toxic and all? Like, have I ever been toxic in Fortnite even?
This honestly was like a big issue with me, even when the Marvel collection came out. When it's like, dude, this NPC collection wasn't for me. This is for people that. I've had these fucking games, man. I've been playing these games for like 20, 30 years of my life. This is for everybody else to enjoy. And then I get on, and there's a ton of people enjoying it, and I jump on ranked, and I'm just like smashing these poor dudes, and I'm like, finding, like, I genuinely only get mega satisfaction out of fighting games, out of fighting people right around my skill level or right above, or like a little bit above, and not destroying me, but like it's. And here's the thing:
it's where you're like,
everybody wants that. Everybody wants to run into somebody else that's like just as bad as they are. Like, that is the whole point. That is a fighting game thing. When you're at the top tier of a game or a fighting game or whatever, what are you desperate for? If some of you haven't been in this situation, I can tell you, what are you desperate for? I've reached the upper echelon of this motherfucker. There's nobody else out here that's playing this as good as me. There's a few others. I have to find these other dickheads that are playing this like this so I can beat them and I can learn shit from them. You naturally gravitate towards, like, I need the better players. Like, right now. I need the people that are better at this, because I want to be challenged. I want to see what they're doing. I want the game to do stuff to me in that way. You know?
That's why skill-based matchmaking in fighting games is important.
Kenny, chill out on the COD folks.
Fuck them.
They're gonna write an angry letter to you.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Fuck them. He said fuck them.
Nobody's playing that game anymore.
Well, because a lot of them, I'm tired of it, man. And it's just like, you know, like, oh, look how good I am. I'm like,
sweats. Kenny's tired of sweating.
It's not sweating. It's just like, you know, like, I've seen so many, like, oh, I hate skill-based matchmaking. I hate. Why do you hate skill-based matchmaking? Because then you just can't go into a room and, you know, do a 30 bomb.
Somebody on YouTube had a good comment. Some people just want to, like, face Max. Like, no, I'm not blaming people for, like, fighting me. I'm saying after 7 hours of doing it, yes, I did kind of want to do something else. But at the same point, no, I completely understand. That's the majority of my experience with every single fighting game I play online, is somebody, like, quote-unquote stream sniping you because they want to fight you. Like, they want to get in games with you in some way. I completely understand that. I also don't specifically grind anything for more than 6, 7, 8 hours, because I'll just naturally get frustrated and only see the things I dislike about it. In any situation.